Oh, yeah.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
All right, folks. For those of you that have us in a tab and are looking at something else, come back, because we're about to get this party started in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam.
Oh no, someone said bring forth the TPK.
Hello, everyone. Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our weekly live stream, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition online role-playing adventures. I'm joined by my wonderful friends, and we can do a proper introduction this time with characters. Chris, playing Valravin, the Eldrin Bard.
It's a hard second A, Valravin.
Oh my god. Fuck it, we're gonna start over. I've flubbed my intro as well. New start.
It's not a hard A either.
I am very pleased and looking forward to mispronouncing your character's name for the entirety of this campaign. Heather playing Frey, the halfling barbarian. Did I get the A right?
You did get the A right.
Fantastic. Rochelle playing Celeste Volitional, the half-orc monk.
Oh, actually, it's Celeste.
No. Why do we even have a session 0? Raymond playing Edmund Ulrich, the human artificer.
Oh, you said it wrong. It's actually Frank.
What? No.
All the D's are silent.
It's not. Reese playing Thimbleweed, the gnome ranger.
I've been awake all day. No further questions.
We stream our sessions live on YouTube every Friday evening. You can watch all of our D&D live series as well as reviews and Let's Plays on my YouTube channel. Read weekly session recaps at roguewatson.com and watch my behind-the-scenes, no players allowed live series, Crafting Icewind Dale, every Thursday. Head on over to our post-live session discussion, Frostside Chat, after our show tonight. You can follow me on Twitter at roguewatson and join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. If you would like to support the channel, please go to patreon.com/roguewatson. Shoutouts to new patrons this week, Fast Like a Tortoise. For our campaign, we use Roll20.net. For video chat, we use Discord. For streaming, I use Open Broadcaster software with Streamlabs. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod, and our amazing original character art was done by Jimmy McClure. And that cool animated intro was by Jordan Collette. It was an awesome intro. You guys hopefully saw it when I linked it to you earlier, but awesome.
Yeah.
Proper
introduction.
Yes, I know. The production values have gone way up. Previously on Icewind Dale, Rime and the Frostmaiden, we created our characters. Nothing. We did a lot. We created our characters.
You got cursed at quite often.
I did get, yeah.
Well, at least by me.
You've all have your secrets in place. I have chatted with all of you about them to some extent. And everybody should have character sheets ready to go. We went over our house rules. We got trinkets. So we are ready to, step into the proper first session for Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. No, don't say oh shit right now. Don't be like Raymond and be like, wait a minute, I use intelligence? Like 5 minutes before
I need to start over from 0.
No, we're not doing this.
This is all wrong.
God damn it.
I need a new character.
No, that's not happening.
I don't like this anymore.
Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt warmth of the sun in months. The sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even when it should be the height of summer. Most of the locals blame Auril the Frostmaiden, goddess of winter. Shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing, a spell keeping even the sun at bay. The Ten Towns region has become isolated in the never-ending winter, and many locals turn to old barbaric customs. Herds are displaced, and once content creatures and beasts have grown aggressive and desperate. There are whispers of ghosts stalking the streets, rumors of towns reverting to tribalism and even human sacrifice, and beneath the ice and snow, something ancient stirs. In the dwarven mining town of Ironmaster, a green-skinned, well-dressed elf overhears a blonde young man asking about Icewind Dale at the inn. The two of you strike up a conversation and quickly realize you share a common goal, getting to Icewind Dale and finding out what's going on, though your reasons and motivations are your own. Valravn, please give me a persuasion check. Edmund, please give me an insight check.
How do you do that again?
Open the character sheet.
Persuasion.
Oh, this is already going great.
Uh-huh. Oh. Neither one of us rolled very good.
That's true, you're both caught off guard. The elf's lure of adventure and glory is impossible to ignore. Edmund, you feel yourself emboldened more than ever to explore Icewind Dale. The town didn't hold many answers, but plenty of rumors. Few are willing to travel north, believing the land to be cursed by the Frostmaiden. No caravans are heading up there, and apparently you had just missed a small cadre of dwarves desperate to deliver an order of iron ingots to Bryn Shander. You purchase cold weather gear and rations and set off on foot on what should be a 2-day journey along the well-worn Ten Towns Trail. On the morning of the second day, you're greeted by a foreboding darkness, like the sky is permanently gray and overcast. It's unsettling, and you find it difficult to keep track of time despite your steady pace. Sense of unease and foreboding continues, and after a few more hours of travel, the winds begin picking up. Meanwhile, a red-haired, pint-sized halfling dressed in heavy furs, tiny even for a halfling, walks through the town of Tourmaline. A commotion in the market draws her attention. A gnome with a bow slung across his back is shrinking from an angry merchant with his finger pointing accusingly. The halfling strides up, getting in the merchant's face. Frey, can you roll me an intimidation check? You may use strength instead of charisma, if you wish, as your stat.
I do that.
You have to do it manually unless it's in the character sheet.
Okay.
But basically, you just have to look at the numbers and add your modifier and your proficiency.
Okay, so D20 plus 5.
Your physical strength. Okay.
Wasn't gonna matter anyway.
The merchant immediately backs off and shrinks, despite the merchant being much larger than you.
Merchant is 6 feet. I'm like 2'8".
Absolutely shrinks away and skulks off. The two diminutive figures strike up a conversation as the gnome reveals he's from the Elk-Reged tribe, sent on a holy mission to solve the crisis of the everlasting winter. The wild halfling finds more common ground with this nomad than most in 10 towns, and the two agree to expand their search for answers, she navigating the towns and he the wilds. Days later,
Don't want to talk to anybody.
you find yourselves south of Bryn Shander, as far south as the Gnome Ranger has ever been. There were rumors of a large beast in the area near town, and you two have been tracking it. Thimbleweed, could you please give me a survival check, please? So far, this pair has been a little more on the ball. Thimbleweed, while tracking this beast, you're able to locate a small empty cave, which you begin to double back to with Frey when the winds begin picking up.
Winds picking up.
Yeah. As a blizzard soon descends upon you, icy daggers of shivering cold piercing a few areas of exposed flesh. I need the four of you to give me con saving throws, but Thimbleweed and Frey can have advantage because Thimbleweed is able to find shelter.
Would like to roll to descend back at the blizzard.
Wait, what are we rolling again?
A
Con saving throw.
Con saving throw, please. My goodness.
I am the best at this.
Oh, we're glad you found that shelter.
Do I get advantage, you said?
You do get advantage thanks to Thimbleweed. All right. These are some 2 20s to start off these saving
Lord have
throws.
mercy.
Is that going to be how we're going to set the tone, is it?
Thimbleweed have advantage?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Thimbleweed is the okay. Further than
In the middle of
I
introducing
do.
all of you.
Yes.
Nowhere but down from here.
Too many 20s in the first couple minutes.
This
Use
is
up all our
gonna-
luck.
Yeah, it's not going to bode well for later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As the storm finally begins to subside, a lone figure walks through the open snow. Larger than a human and dressed in an odd uniform that looks completely out of place in the tundra, the half-orc searches for answers to her predicament. Celeste, could you please give me a medicine check as you examine yourself?
Okay.
What the actual hell is going on? Or I should be
we can't
pleased
do
to get
this.
all these out of the
Don't-
way.
I don't like this.
My
This is all our 20s.
God. That's a lot of 20s. That is,
We gotta
Man.
start strong and be impressive.
that is impressive.
I think we should start a drinking game for chat. So every time we roll a nat 20, that someone in
People
the
would
chat
be-
has to drink
You would
something.
be pretty toe up out now, like 5 minutes in. Celeste, physically, you feel fine if a bit tired, but you can't eliminate a nagging feeling that something is wrong or different. And you still have no recollection of how you ended up here. We return to Valravan and Edmund. After the storm, you try and carefully make your way back, or try to find your way back to the trail. Got a little indicator. So
Lost.
all of you looking at the Icewind Dale map at this point.
Yes.
Okay,
Although I
so
should note that the city circles seem to be selectable tokens.
please do not move those, but that is
Okay.
that is on purpose.
Just
please,
checking.
please do not move the map token around.
Is the background supposed to be blurry?
Probably
maybe
still
loading.
needs to load for you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It's like a blizzard, but the font should be clear though.
Yeah, the font's clear.
Yeah, it's just
it
a
might,
blizzard.
it might be too textured, yeah. So Edmund and Valravan, god damn it.
There you go.
3 stocky.
Don't
Raven.
worry. Don't worry. It'll be harder
Oh,
and harder to
Raven.
get that wrong as the game goes on because he will be introducing himself to everyone
Okay,
constantly.
I'll be hearing
So-
that. Yeah, get all those weird pronunciations out.
Character will kill you.
For the two of you, 3 stocky
Character.
figures bundled in cold weather garb nearly run into you. They're wrapped so tightly you can barely make out their features, but they're unmistakably dwarves. Please,
Hey, watch it.
sorry. Please, we need help. One of them calls out in a raspy feminine voice. My name is Runa. This is Korux and Storn. We're miners who are delivering a shipment of iron ingots to Bryn Shander, but we were attacked by a monster. Ah, damn Yeti, one of the bearded dwarves mutters. You notice he's favoring one leg and the other dwarf is helping support him.
You're minors, huh? Where's your parents?
I was waiting for that.
Miners.
Well, Robin's gonna stand up. Are we on horses or are we just on?
You are on
we
foot.
on foot. Okay. Well, Robin's gonna just straighten himself up and bow. Valravan Gwenatane Lonria, at your most assured service, my friends.
Oh, Lord.
Which again, may I say, is the nature of this danger. Yeti, you say? How big was this abomination?
It was huge. The woman in front says those two look very wide-eyed, and she seems to be a little more calm. Says it killed Ubak. It tore him limb from limb. We fled, hoping to get help from the town, but perhaps Moradin has answered our prayers.
Yes, that's excellent. Every good creature tale must begin with one death at least. Valravan is his book is open and he's just writing furiously as they talk.
Look, I'm here for a reason, and I don't want to get mixed up in your monster battles.
Our battles.
Okay, monster slaughtering of you.
I think she says, I think the the town, they had ordered those shipments, but we'd finally decided to deliver them, despite everything going on. We need the money, but we have a few gems we could pay you. Please.
You're going to, my friend. They are expecting you with these parcels that you are delivering, yes?
Ingots! Iron ingots! Mined and forged in Iron Master by dwarves! Alright,
Yes.
Korax, that's fine.
And perhaps those who saved you and helped you along the way to deliver these ingots would be held in somewhat high esteem for doing so, yes? Perhaps even, my friend, turns to Edmund, it might help us secure information if we are well regarded as heroes amongst the townsfolk.
Perhaps information is always a good thing to have. Do you see the wait, they don't have the iron ingots on them, do they? Don't look like carrying it.
No, they do not have the ingots. They were just the three of them, and one of them looked like it was injured and it was helping support him. They mentioned that they had to drop everything and just run, basically, when this monster showed up. And they have some concern for Ubak, of course, but the ingots are important. He knew the risk. He didn't know the risk. You know the bloody monster out there. The two of them just kind of arguing the back.
I mean, what is it? What is this? Or what's in it for us? I mean, why do we want to get meddled in these monsters?
Some payment from these fine dwarves here, and perhaps a bit of infamy as well. The pair of adventurers who saved the dwarves and their ingots and brought them back safely to town. Such a thing might be valuable currency where we're going.
I don't know. I get information the way I need it. I mean, I'd rather not be well known. You know, sometimes with infamy comes death.
That
But
hasn't been my experience, my lad, but
I'd be curious. I suppose it's a good start, though, to figure out what's going on with this odd occurrence, this unnatural occurrence here. I hear the sun hasn't shone in a while. And any lead is better than no lead, I suppose.
Perhaps this beast is even tied into it in some way. Wouldn't that be exciting?
Probably not. It's a little too easy if we already found out.
Quest complete.
This Yeti has a clue on him.
A red key?
It says final dungeon. What?
Need 8 more of these, the Battle of the Beholder.
But all right. What do we do with these 3?
You find are these all men? Is it there women in the group?
One woman, I think.
One woman?
1 woman, 2 men.
One woman.
Yes.
Okay.
1 woman who's
Are
been
you
mainly talking.
Okay. Are you fine folk in fighting shape to stand with us against this horrible creature? Or are we here to protect you from its foul claws?
The woman kind of shakes her head. It takes her a while to like understand what you're saying. Like you can see like the gears turning, and she finally kind of shakes her head. And one of them in the back kind of nods and then like does this. No, we're not fighters. Normally we would have some guards or something with us, but nobody wanted to come out here. The land is cursed. All right, Korax. But no, we're just miners. We're not fighters. I'm sorry. Poor Ubak didn't stand a chance.
And fine miners, I am sure you all are.
Damn straight.
So perhaps, in the interest of safety, you just stay some measure behind us, but within eyesight, so that should we find your ingots, you can procure them in a timely fashion.
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
This one here is looking kind of bad. Do we need to take it to town? I know we care about that one guy, but Do you need some medical assistance?
That was our initial plan, yes, was to try to get to Bryn Shander to get help. We could meet you there, maybe, or... whatever.
Tell us, how far away are we from this town?
You wager, you're a couple hours. You're not...
I was asking them, but...
Oh, yeah, sorry. In fact, the distance would actually work on here. With a regular pace, you could probably make it there in under 2 hours. Will take a little bit longer, though. I twisted my ankle!
That sounds wonderful. I mean, the getting you to safety part, not the twisted ankle, my boy.
It's so much pain.
Furiously writes down all the injuries.
Yeah. Go back to your town, wait for your saviors to arrive with your fair ingots, and make sure everyone knows that Valravan Gwenatane Lanria is on the case and will not let you down.
But I'm not sure about you, but I don't know where these mines are that we're supposed to be going to.
Excellent question. Where are these mines we are supposed to be going to?
Oh, no, the mines were back in Ironmaster. We were just delivering the ingots to Bryn Shander, but we'd gotten off the trail because of the blizzard, just maybe a mile west of here, and it was in the blizzard that the beast attacked.
Is it a carriage of some sort? Packs? What are these ingots being carried in?
A sled.
A sled? I don't know that either one of us can pull a sled.
It's a little heavy, but, oh, just a couple dwarves can do it, no problem, but my ankle, you see.
Yes. Well, we shall certainly try.
I am not pulling a set of ingots.
That's not what I'm here for.
That is not my job. I say we go to town and find some dwarves to convince them to come with us and be there our mules. I mean,
please,
take the sled.
You can't leave them out there.
Leave who?
The children.
But I mean, the ingots.
Well, green fellow.
Well, sounds like we find this other dwarf. We have someone to carry the sled.
A good point. Carry the sled.
Put it on his back.
All right. Well, I say let's go scope it out. Doesn't seem too far of a detour.
At the very least, we will find them and report back to you, but Lord's willing, we will have your sled and your ingots back to you in no time at all, my friends.
The two dwarves in the back look suspicious, but the woman kind of actually clasps her hands and says, "Moradin, be praised."
Moradin, is that your god here?
Yeah, yes.
Would I be familiar with that god in general? Is that just
yeah, pretty
famous god? Okay.
pretty recognizable, famous dwarven god. Yeah.
All right.
The two dwarves in the back look incensed that you would even question, but she kind of shuts them up. So you're telling them to meet in Bryn Shander?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take their friend back to Bryn Shander, and we'll go find the sled, try to bring it back to Bryn Shander as well.
Okay.
And their buddy.
All right, you guys go off in the direction that they pointed you to. Frey and Thimbleweed. After the storm, you resume your search for the beast, though it becomes more difficult to see any signs or tracks following the blizzard. But then you crest a snow-covered ridge and see a frozen, dismembered corpse in the gully in front of you. Snow covers some of the gory bits, but the headless torso and severed limbs are visible.
I believe he is dead.
What gave you that idea?
He's missing an arm, possibly other limbs.
Quite astute, aren't you?
Yes. I was my tribe's best tracker.
Hmm. But I'm glad you're here.
Indeed. Thank you, by the way, for helping me in the town there. I do not like those people.
Of this we can agree.
Yes. They're too close together and too dirty and smells. Oh wait, that's
Aw.
me. Well, the beast must be this way somewhere.
Look around, see if you could find the tracks.
Indeed.
Frey will go up and start to examine the body to try to determine how long ago it was dismembered.
Okay. Give me a medicine check, and Thimbleweed, since you're checking the tracks around it, you can give me a survival check, and I swear to God, if it's another 20, I'm going to reboot this entire campaign.
Start over.
They say I could roll a survival.
Survival, yes. For following track.
How about a 17 plus 6?
Not natural, but you know.
Motherfucker. You're on thin ice, buddy. Frey, you can confirm that this dwarf is indeed dead. And it looks like it was violently pulled apart by some kind of savage beast, probably within the last few hours. It's shocking to see it in kind of a frozen state, and yet this whole area is unnaturally dark and cold, and a blizzard makes things like dangerously more so.
Okay.
You could imagine that might have a effect on things that were out that would accelerate that process. Thimbleweed, you can see the odd thing is you do end up losing sight of the beast tracks, and they look like this did happen hours ago. However, much more recently, you find a different set of tracks. You find tracks that look like they're belonging to maybe half a dozen small humanoids. And the unmistakable tracks of what look like some kind of vehicle going through the snow, all of it going in a southwest direction. As you are looking over this body, Frey, you are like directly over the body. What are you doing when you do this medicine check?
She's kind of, I would say she's standing over the body, except for she's only like 2 feet 8 inches. So really it looks like she's just eye level with the body. She's kind of just trying to get a feel of like how long he's been dead. And then just kind of just eyeballing and looking. Like she's expecting this monster to just jump out, like it's laying in wait, and this is just a trap. Everything is a trap.
So
like she's tensing and like preparing for that, and just kind of like slowly just scanning.
Your head snaps to attention when you see emerging from the shadows, and again, it's daytime, but there's a weird. It's almost like it's cloudy and overcast. Like it's not pitch dark, but it is darker than it should be. Like it is that weird feeling, and we've had that too, where it's just dark, it's gray, it's overcast even during daylight, and it's been like that all day. So it's darker than it should be. And you are very worried when you see a half-orc wearing kind of bizarre clothing and armed with what looks like a mop strides into view. Celeste, from your point of view, you see that bloody mess of a body and a tiny wild-haired halfling standing directly over it, and a gnome kind of walking around looking at tracks.
Who are you?
Oh, who am I?
I'm Celeste Volitional. I don't know how I got here or where I am, but I do know that that mess needs to be cleaned up right away. Okay, I would just like to pause. And now you might be thinking, what a strange name, Celeste Volitional. That doesn't sound like a half-orc name, you might say. So Celeste Volitional is an anagram for something related to her background. And it's a difficult anagram to solve. So if anyone wants to take it upon themselves to solve the anagram, go for it.
Wow.
I hope there's a trivia question at the end of the campaign, but I have a feeling because I always underestimate people on the internet, like they're gonna solve it within like 10 minutes or
Yeah,
something.
well,
If they don't, though, but it's you can't just like Google.
Don't
it,
just
'cause I
Google it. That's
tried.
cheating.
Yeah.
Well, I tried, and it's too difficult to figure out that way. So if no one gets it, then that'll be like the end of the campaign 2 years from now. I will let everyone know.
Bold of you to assume it'll be 2 years, but yes.
And then Celeste is going to take her mop and try to start cleaning up the blood around the body.
Pros and cons.
Are you fully there?
Oh, we need this blood for tracking. I
But
don't know who you are. I don't really care right now, but we're trying to find where this blood leads.
But
Did you see the beast?
No.
I don't know. I don't know where I am or how I got here, but all I know is that you cannot leave this mess around like this. And she continues to clean the blood.
As you are mopping snow. Right.
Well, yes, that's the only way to clean the blood, you see.
Please tell me the blood is like just turning pink as it just goes over more snow.
Your attention is next drawn to a human and an elf cresting the ridge. A green-skinned, middle-aged elf carrying a book, and a young human man, blonde-haired. And the two of you, Edmund and Valraven,
Valraven. It's a
Just
long
go with my
A.
second instinct
Valraven.
every time.
Okay, hang on. Pause for a second. The chat wants to know how you spell
yeah.
Celeste's name.
Oh,
because
that might be
all over this freaking
Yeah.
anagram thing.
Yeah. Volitional.
I mean,
Logan's got it right.
Someone type it into the chat.
Yeah, you could type it in. We could copy and paste that in.
CELESTE.
There you go. Oh, yeah, I've got it on the
Yeah.
screen right now. Yeah,
Yep.
I've got it. I'm showing it right now.
Okay.
I've got
Yeah.
the card sheet open.
All right, there we go.
Uh,
There you go, chat.
So Edmund
Oh, fun.
and Vol, you come across the ridge and look down, and now you see.
You see a very frustrated halfling
He
barbarian.
holds his hand out. Like, wait.
I have
There,
one
there.
mopping up the body in a jumpsuit.
Edmund holds his hand out and says, "Hold. I see him. I see the monster. And the dwarf. And I don't know who the third one is, but maybe it's another dwarf they didn't tell us about.
Does she hear him say the word dwarf?
Depends how far they are. I assume we're
Yeah, how far
still
away are
around.
we at this point?
Which way's the wind going?
Yeah, you're probably within like 30 feet of each other at this point. Since that you just crested that ridge and you can see.
Oh, that close?
Yeah. You don't have to
If she
shout.
hears,
Is
if she
what
hears
Yetis
someone
look like up here?
call her a dwarf, she's going to turn around and just start screaming that she is not a dwarf. I am not a dwarf.
Oh dear.
Who are you?
Valraven Gwenetane Lonria, at your most astute service, my lady. What
Don't
may I
Call
ask,
me that either.
lady? All right, lady dwarf. What are your preferred pronouns and labels, madam?
Excellent.
Did you see the beast?
No, we have not seen the beast. We
You
are,
are
however,
no good to me.
tracking the
Have
beast.
you seen the
Oh,
beast?
dear.
We are looking for the beast. And no, we've not seen it.
Call one.
Regardless, you two stop right there, Valraven Astute. If you mess up any more of these tracks, just like she is messing up this blood, I will have a conniption.
Note to self, writing a crime scene for these players. This whole adventure's nothing but crime scenes.
Tracking down a beast, and these tracks are most important.
You mean these tracks? And he starts kicking the snow around.
Oh dear. Balraven will stay completely still when he hears that. Are you a tracker of beasts then? I didn't hear you, but
Yeah, you
it didn't. I saw the
You
words.
cut out, so I just heard you tell. Dramatic. He was like, "I am." And then you guys-
Wonderful. What's luck, Edmund? We are here
Yes.
tracking a beast, and we happen upon what appears to be a tracker of beasts, a wild woman, and
She'll growl at you at that.
some sort of mop.
He looks up, thimbleweed up and down. It's like, I suppose we could use this tracker's skills, but where I came from, I don't...
O's. I am the best thing that's happened to you today.
We'll see. The day just started.
I love both of your optimism.
Thank you, Mr. Astute.
I'm not sure. Okay, that's fine. For now, that is fine.
All right, tracker.
Yes.
Where did this beast go?
I don't know. I'm still upset about the blood being cleaned up.
She with you.
What are you doing, madam?
I'm cleaning the blood. You cannot leave all this blood around here because you see that will make us very messy people, and we must be clean.
See, she is quite insane.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well.
But
Um,
by the
but-
way, could anyone tell me where we are and why we are here and where my monastery is?
Monastery? You are in the spine of the world.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
It's not.
Oh.
Here my entire life, I've never heard of any monastery.
She just looks distraught and just starts mopping harder.
Barab-
Essentially just like digging a bloody hole
Yeah.
into the snow at this point.
Mop your feelings away.
That's right. Valravin will go up behind her and say, like, it appears you have suffered some sort of emotional trauma, my dear. But I can tell that you are quite skilled at what you're doing. In fact, as I look upon it now, even, I see that the blood is disappearing under your mop. You must be extremely competent at your craft. And he will use prestidigitation to do his best to just clean blood where her mop is
This
going.
is not going to be the first time. You're probably going to have to do this. Good job!
Good job. You're doing wonderful, dear.
Are you making it obvious or?
No. In fact, I'm trying to make it look like she's as I'm talking to her, I'm telling her how good a job she's doing. I'm trying to make it look like she is, in fact, mopping blood.
The second campaign in a row where my character just needs to be like thinks that she's competent while everyone else
Can't miss Gillian.
doesn't work more.
Excellent mopper.
Oh, it's just my trope. Okay, sorry. So the blood disappearing? I'm thinking the blood is disappearing.
Some of it, yeah. Where your
Okay.
mop is going.
Let's say yes.
I'm not gonna do anything about it, but can I tell that you're doing it, or should I roll for something?
I mean, I think prestidigitation requires some verbal and some, yeah. So I'm probably
it
like,
depends if you're trying to hide it or not.
he's trying to hide it from her, but he's standing behind her, so it's like he's not really trying to hide it from everyone else. He's just trying to make her seem.
Edmund, if you're paying attention at all, you would recognize he's casting a spell.
Okay. All right. I'm just learning about him, you know?
Yeah.
I think his personality.
Cut of the jib.
Celeste starts to relax and slows down her mopping as she's seeing the blood start to get cleaned up.
Now, my dear, I am not aware of any monasteries in this part of the world. I am not sure what part of the world. I'm not entirely fluent in the Sword Coast myself, but I am certain that if you were to stick with us, we would be able to find you a way back to your home post-haste.
Oh, well, that is so nice of you. I'm still not entirely sure that you can actually keep me from getting murdered out here, but I will take you up on that offer and I will mop anything that needs to be mopped up along the way.
Fantastic.
What an easy way to recruit a party member.
Would you like to mop things? I cannot promise there won't be mortal danger, dear. In fact, I'm counting on mortal danger. It's necessary material for the book I'm writing, you see. But I am confident in our ability to handle anything that comes our way.
You are writing a book? You're making me do like a British accent too.
It's infectious.
Match me.
You're writing a book? Oh, I love books. I used to read all day long in the monastery. That was my favorite place to be, in my books.
Wonderful. Well, by the time this is all said and done, dear, you will be, I am sure, a primary character in one. How does that sound?
Oh, that's too much. I couldn't even. I accept.
Huzzah!
Well, maybe the book would like to find this beast. What good is a book out here?
Can we please get back to what we were doing?
By all means, you two seem to be by far the most competent of us.
The beast is just getting further and further from us.
Precisely.
Finally, a tall one knows what they're talking about.
Yes, I am quite tall. Thank you. He's actually 5 feet.
Edmund is very short for a human, turns out. But
Still taller than me.
that's right.
He spends the entire campaign standing next to Thimbleweed and Frey, just being next to them.
Doesn't like when people comment on his height being shorter.
Well, thankfully in our gradient, you're right about in the middle. I think
I think so.
it's a pretty harsh line.
So as I mentioned, that you have completely lost sight of any beast tracks. Blizzard is just complete. It got harder and harder as you reached, and then by the end, you were just kind of following the same direction, and then the blizzard has just wiped all remains of that. But what you see and what looks like had happened after the blizzard hit was those smaller humanoid tracks, and then the actual vehicle tracks heading in a southwest direction.
Does the vehicle look more like sled or snowmobile?
My God.
Look at those snowmobile tracks.
Roll for snowmobile. Sled-like, yes.
We ran into some dwarves and they described it as a sled.
Technically a snowmobile is sled-like as well, so I'm keeping it open.
Yes, and there is apparently one dwarf left alive that we are to rescue. Presumably,
as you say that, you look down as she's finished mopping and see this headless torso of a dwarf in
dear.
That dwarf.
Perhaps.
This is the dwarf?
Perhaps. It's unclear. I wasn't given a clear description, but
It seems you have failed.
oh dear, this isn't a good start to the story. Well, we can still recover their valued ingots and bring them back as heroes into town.
The ingots?
Yes, the ingots the dwarves were procuring to Bryn Shander.
They're going to be brought back to town as heroes? All right.
You would like to be a hero, wouldn't you?
Already a hero.
Fantastic attitude, my boy.
I don't need your accolades,
Of course not.
but I appreciate it all the same.
We all do.
So
Alright,
are you following those tracks?
I mean,
Yeah.
presumably that's our only track. Yeah.
Okay. After about an hour of following the tracks, you which do you have any conversations while you're following, or I was mentioned open it up for role playing here, but you guys have kind of been doing a pretty good job of that so far. I don't think I have to tease any of that out.
Anytime Frey hears Vol whatever talking,
It's Valraven.
Yes, that's canonically.
Oh,
Yes.
Ravan!
You're all wrong, but it's all right. Once I'm a famous
She-
novelist, no one will mispronounce my name. That's
just
now
keep,
Valraven's only motivation.
I can't wait until you
just keep
mispronounce your own
telling
name.
yourself that. I mean, seriously. So she's gonna like make sure she is ahead of him. Like she does not want to be close to him because he's already like got that voice that grates on her nerves, like the nails on a chalkboard type of a thing. So she's like, she keeps everyone within distance, but far enough away that she's not anywhere close to him, or what could be considered close.
Within conversation distance.
Yes,
Okay.
she is outside of that polite conversation.
Okay. After about an hour or half an hour of following the tracks, you finally
Losing
Sorry,
it.
Somebody solved her.
Really already?
No. Is it a testicle love lion?
What?
Is that gonna play into our story at some point?
It is now.
Oh god.
No, it's not that.
It's not that. It's wrong.
Good guess, though.
Yeah. Good try.
Well done, visual. You got us all with that one.
No, you're really not sorry, visual. It's okay.
After half an hour following the tracks, you finally see the sled up ahead. Several small humanoids dressed in furs groan, grunt, and curse as they haul the bulky sled toward what appears to be a 20-foot tall wagon in the distance. Lanterns illuminate another goblin on top of the wagon, but your attention is drawn to the two roaring polar bears harnessed to the front.
Oh dear.
And if I was smart, I would have the handout ready to go. Not true. There.
Oh. Oh wow.
Not what I was picturing.
Nope. We were definitely not gonna be able to pull that slide. That was not gonna happen.
Well, that is the wagon that the sled is being pulled towards.
Oh, I see.
So what you've come up is about 60 feet in front of you. You see a good-sized sled being pulled by several of these goblins dressed in heavy furs, like cold weather gear. And they are pulling it slowly and painstakingly towards that wagon, that giant 20-foot tall wagon.
And how far away is that? Yeah.
That wagon is, you judge, about the same distance you are to the sled. So about another 60
That's
feet.
another 60.
Yep. So I have put you all on the map. And keep in mind, it is dark, but not pitch dark. So I tried to reflect that in your sight. Some of you might be able to see better than others because you might have dark vision. A little bit more. There we go. It should be pretty. I tried to separate you all as you talked about how you were traveling, but so some of you, probably Thimbleweed, you can just see at the edge of your vision, and you probably motion everybody. But at this point, it's in your hands. Right now, those goblins have not seen you, but if you wanted to approach closer, it would require some kind of stealth.
Certainly we don't want to let the small sled get to the big sled, yes?
Assume you're whispering
seem-
to each other.
Right, yes.
Unless Valravn doesn't have a inside voice.
That's entirely possible. That's
Yeah. How astute of you, Mr. Astute. I understand your name now. Very good. Very good.
I'm all right at stealth. I could stealth forward a little bit, but
Plan of attack is for you to go forward then.
Let's get this over with. And
Yes.
she's, I mean, she's
Wait,
gonna
what?
sprint.
just gonna
She's
start
just-
running.
She's gonna start speedily walking through the snow.
Well, do you not think there might be a better way to do this?
She's not bright enough to think that there's a better way to do this.
Oh,
I like
no.
this one. And he starts taking off.
Oh dear.
I suppose safety in numbers and all that.
No,
I
I
suppose.
disagree. I don't think this is very safe at all.
Well,
And
it'll be safe when it's over, yes?
when she gets within like 20 feet or so of the cart, she's going to let out this maniacal laugh. It is literally like just the craziest thing like you will have like ever heard.
I'll let you get within 40, and then you're gonna have to roll stealth if you want to get closer.
Oh, I'm not trying to be quiet.
Okay. Good to
I
know.
never- I never said I was trying to be quiet.
Okay, back up to about 40 feet, and then let's go ahead and roll for initiative as Frey is letting out a guttural.
40 feet is where we were before, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's.
I told you, I'm not laughing until I'm within 20 feet.
Right, but if you're not trying to be stealthy, then eventually the snow crunching will alert the goblin's attention as you close in. But they have to roll initiative as well. Oh right, I have a million things in my drop down menu now. That was.
Welcome back to being a DM.
that's right.
Or I'll
yeah.
roll pretty well.
Oh no.
Oh, you rolled the same as me.
Yikes.
Players do win ties, so you will actually win out that one. Okay, so currently
Did my thing work? It sure did.
the wagon obviously has not noticed anybody yet, but for this first round, as you approach, the snow crunching and all that, as you all just kind of surge forward, make some noise, and the goblins start turning. And you can see now clearly as they turn, it's goblin features, all dressed in these heavy furs. And we're gonna put Frey on top because players do win ties, and our game is a tiebreaker. Let's take it away.
So as she's walking, she just like flips part of her cloak back, and there's this gleaming battle axe. It is like the cleanest thing on her. It is literally the cleanest thing on her entire person. She takes great pride in her weapons. And she just pulls it out and just kind of does that like hand flip thing. And it starts literally just walking.
Does everything
Eyebrows.
else just have like stink lines coming off of it?
Basically, yeah.
Super filthy.
When she gets to like about this point, like when she's like the 20 feet away, you just hear her go.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I also imagine that this echoes through the night.
Yeah,
It's in the
this
darkness.
small little figure just makes this huge fucking maniacal laughter.
Oh,
But you
Lord.
can't tell if it's like a person or if it's an animal because it's so
I-
dark. Nobody knows, and
Right.
and she just keeps coming.
This is the Mad Max scene where he just goes out into like the fog, and you don't hear you don't see him anymore. You just hear terrible sounds out there.
And that's about as far as I can go and be able to do. I guess a bonus action I could dash, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Only if you've got,
As your
no, that's a
action,
rogue.
you have to dash.
I don't want to.
That was the
do that.
cunning action of a rogue.
Yeah,
You still have an action, so you could still either hold your action or take the dodge action. I mean, you can do things on your action still.
Let's see here. I'm trying to remember what. Again, new character sheet, so now I don't know what any of these damn things do.
Welcome to the starting test. I'm ready to test your characters battle.
Yep.
And you're about to get fucking perforated.
Dude, I'm like super brave.
You are.
And
Earn that bravery.
so, it says I have a javelin, but I don't have that in my hand. I have my battle axe in my hand. She's gonna take basically a fighting stance and hold on to that battle axe with two hands, waiting for them to come to her. And the whole time, she is literally still just laughing.
Okay.
Like it is just continuously coming out, and you just see like this look of pure glee whenever you get up to her face.
Nice. Some of the goblins balk at first, but then you think because there's so many of them, and only one of you coming up laughing, and you're actually smaller than they are, they feel a little bit,
It's a honey badger coming for them. Honey badger don't care.
Don't give a damn.
Yeah, obviously they stop trying to haul the wagon. They grab their weapons. Some have, they all seem to have bows slung across them, and swords and shields, just kind of their standard goblin gear. And the first one will absolutely run at you and try to do a similar laughter, but it's very pathetic. It's like, eh.
Good try.
Try.
I suppose stealth is off the table then.
So, assuming you're ready to, and an action to prepare for when they approach, you may get that attack off now.
Okay.
Or as he kind of comes at you, as if accepting your challenge. Look at that. That is going to hit that goblin. Frey, I don't think you're enraged right now, right?
Well, I am. That's how I turn my rage on, is my laughing. Remember we talked about this.
Oh, okay. So you
That's the
bonus
signal
you
there.
bonus action enraged.
Mm-hmm.
You, as this goblin approaches, how would you like to kill this goblin?
She will literally just hack him in half and just it splots, and she just
Very nice. You do that, and the goblins turn from like kind of laughing mockingly to now being angry at you, and several more of them rush and attempt to just kind of swarm you as they move to attack. We're gonna get 3 of them attacking you with scimitars.
I love that someone in the chat told me I should have thrown a snowball.
I don't think a 10 is going to hit,
No.
but a 12?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
And
No.
8. Okay. Those goblins all did a really terrible... Yeah, they're so tiny. You're just like, can't get a good purchase. They're all swinging madly at you, but you are dodging and weaving. The 3 in the back, however, take out bows and aim down, and you are still the primary target, so they are going to be all shooting their bows at you.
I'm the only one they can see.
Basically, yeah. Although you, some of you might know dark vision, or goblins may have some dark vision, so they actually probably do see ones in the back approaching, but their focus attention is on you. Since you killed one, and now all 3 of them just tried to attack without it working. Alright, so 3 short bow attacks coming your way. Goblins, my goodness. Goblins, my goodness. Hey!
That one
of them
finally hit.
just randomly, like, shuts his eyes, like,
I'm resistant to piercing.
While enraged, you are resistant to normal attacks.
Mm-hmm. So that means I take half damage?
Yes.
2.
Alright. However... One of them that shot the, and finally, like when all these attacks hit and they say you, and the other, and the bow ones see the ones in the back, one of them blows, like gets a little whistle and blows and goes, and you see the one that's on the wagon suddenly turn and pay attention to what's going on over there.
If he can see it.
Right. all they did was like heard the whistle, so I'm not adding them to initiative yet. So we go to Thimbleweed next.
Right. Said the one in the back was starting to go.
Sorry?
You said one in the back was starting to go towards the sled.
He blew a whistle that alerted the wagon to that's further east. But they've got their bows out. Everybody's just attacking Frey right now.
I'm gonna cast a fog cloud on the archers in the back.
Okay. I did not prepare any spell. And now I'm realizing what I forgot to do. Somebody give me a fog cloud art thing. I have one, let's see. Fog cloud. How did I let you take fog cloud? I thought I'd gotten rid of that spell.
Not yet.
Not yet. Alright, I've got one that looks like a token. Can I use this? Alright, how big is fog cloud?
20-foot radius.
40-foot diameter.
Yeah. How big is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. One more. Look at that low-res texture. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Alright, we've got 40. I'm gonna put it right on top of these archers.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Alright, they are enveloped in darkness. And now you all basically can't see the wagon beyond either. That's kind of covered at that whole other side.
Problems are solved when you cannot see them.
They're not there if you can't see them.
Indeed. Edmund.
If I want to throw as my attack, like if I want to throw something.
Frey's already out there.
No, I'm going to throw a stone.
Okay. Yes.
What's my roll? I'm trying to figure that out. Sorry.
Are you casting a spell or literally just picking up a rock?
No, I'm picking up something and throwing it. So it says I can use dexterity for a thrown object, I guess. That's not
I
right.
think if it's thrown, it's actually strength based.
It depends on the object, I think.
Oh, does it?
Like a hand axe, it says use strength, but then for a dagger, you use strength or dexterity, since it has finesse.
Oh.
So, could I use dexterity if I'm throwing a stone? Or should we figure out next time?
I knew, yeah,
I
first
thought
turn I knew
there
you'd
were
ask me a
rules
question I'd have to look up.
I thought there were rules about throwing improvised weapons, and I think, or throws a melee. No, it's a melee weapon.
Let's find out. Somebody in the chat will help us out. Wants to throw a stone. What do we use to... The weapon has the thrown property. You can throw the weapon to make a ranged attack. If the weapon is a melee weapon, use the same ability modifier for that attack roll and damage you would use for a melee attack with the weapon. So is a rock a melee weapon? Probably. Well, I don't know. Rocks are versatile.
The thing that they're comparing it to is in this form I found is an acid flask, and that one says if you throw an acid flask at someone, make a ranged attack against the creature or object. So just a ranged attack.
That would be dexterity, I think.
That would.
Okay, improvise. So, oh, there is improvised. Any object you wield. Okay. Object there's no weapon deals 1d4 damage. The character uses a ranged weapon to make a melee attack or throws a melee weapon that does not have the thrown property. It also deals 1d4 damage. An improvised thrown weapon has a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. I don't know where it says.
All right, never mind.
I want you to do it. I'm just trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah,
we could just rule.
I'm going to do it a little differently.
Okay.
We'll figure out next time, like if I actually want to throw things. But for now, I have a sling, so it probably does more damage with a sling.
Yeah, just put the fucking rock in a sling and throw that. There's rules to the sling.
You can just say your character throws the thing and use the sling.
Oh yeah, mechanic. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, exactly. We can use we can model whatever mechanics to. You can thematically, do it however you want it, but mechanically we'll follow some kind of system.
But we'll just say there's a sling attached to my arm, and so it just comes out of my arm. But
Nice.
as a bonus action, I cast this. Oops. this cantrip. So why is there a 19? Ignore.
It's you're making a. Let's see, you make a ranged spell attack. Yep.
Oh. Okay. Well, that counts as my.
Yeah, it does because you rolled a 19. That's why.
Well, I'm gonna play as I forgot. It's character man, so I don't quite know what happened. But I put my hands together, and electricity kind of shoots out from my hands, and I touch the ground and transform 3 snowballs into these magical stones.
Okay.
So I turn into stones essentially, and I hurl one with a sling.
I see the spell was already built in for you. You didn't even need to look over it.
Number 5. I hurl it at number 5.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So you see Edmund, you put your hands on the ground.
Well, like, yeah, my hands touch together first, and electricity kind of sparkles out, and then I touch the snow on the ground, and 3 stones form as the snow kind of reconstitutes into a.
On the ground, or do they hover like in front of you?
No, they're on the ground.
Okay.
And then I pick one up. I make 3 of them. I pick one up and arm my sling and shoot it out.
Okay.
What's number 5?
That's number 5. Okay.
D6. Hold on. 1d6 plus 3. Sorry, that's the stone itself. So I need to rework this. But if I shoot it from a sling, it does some other damage too. So I need to rework it actually.
I mean, you can use the spell. It doesn't have to. You can thematically do it like you're doing whatever it wants. But the spell has its own attack roll, so don't worry about the sling.
Well,
Right.
I put the stone in a sling because it says I can either throw it or use a weapon.
Oh.
As I'm looking at the spell, it does the same damage regardless, though, right?
Yeah, but I guess my question is, if the sling shoots a stone, it does some damage, and then would the stone itself do damage when it hits?
I think the
Oh.
spell replaces any weapon
Oh, I
damage.
see.
Is kind of what
Yeah.
I'm reading. It's like it's just the spell damage.
Yeah, it would only be spell damage.
Okay, then just the 7 at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. New character. We're figuring this out, but I like that thematically. That's really cool. Okay, so you do all that, and the stone comes rocketing out and hits that goblin square in the nose, kind of breaks his nose, and blood comes spooling out. He's still standing.
Makes Frey laugh harder.
That one appears to be one of the larger goblins of the group. You...
Take that, you ugly face.
That's right. You knock him a solid hit. Celeste just stepped away, so we're gonna go to...
I've been told what
been told.
she might do.
Okay.
Val Raven might go first, and Celeste will go right after,
Okay.
if she's not back by then.
Gotcha.
Okay.
A contingency plan.
Yep. Valravn stepping forward
You can't help yourself.
will let's step forward just a little bit, not too far, maybe up here. He starts paging his book open and begins writing in his book as he steps forward. It says, and though it was that the stout barbarian was surrounded by fallow creatures, she felt in her heart that she could withstand their blows and exchange them for her own fury. And so she was bolstered. And Frey will get a bardic inspiration.
Inspired by his words.
Yep. And then he will continue speaking. And those fallow creatures that set upon the lone... I never got your race, dear. What are you?
What are you?
In
You
the
can't
middle
just
of battle.
ask
Yeah,
Hold up.
he literally stops writing, and he was like, the fearsome... Damn, I never got your race, dear.
Being stabbed by goblins.
She's just laughing maniacally.
Me?
Yes, yeah, you're a halfling, yes?
Aren't you astute?
Apparently, that's my name now. The fierce halfling was surrounded by the fallow creatures. Those
Oh,
terrible
goodness.
goblins felt the cold descend into their bones, and as they did, a great torpor set upon them. And 201, they felt the great call of the cold sleep. That's not how I'm supposed to roll.
Very impressive.
One's dead.
What's a topper?
So 21 hit points worth of goblins, starting from the lowest HP going up.
Okay, and what is the size?
Just any. The size of the area.
Radius of the
within 20 feet of a point. So I think I can hit them all. They're all within 20 feet of each other.
But is that you have to see them all?
Oh, do I? Spell. Let's see. Creatures within. No, I have to choose a point within range.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just put it right on the edge.
Yeah,
of
so
the
you
fog
can see
cloud.
that point within range, and then because the goblins haven't gone yet, you just assume they're there, which
yeah,
you'll be correct because they haven't gone yet.
Yep. So all these folks, I'm assuming my barbarian has more hit points than they do.
Right, I have to remember how. It's been a while since we used this spell. Starting the creature has the lowest current hit points, and then I deduct.
Yes.
Creature affected by the spell
it's a
falls.
pool.
Okay. Starting the creature with the lowest current hit points. Okay, the first one that falls down is the one that Edmund hit with the rock.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta open a calculator to make sure I keep track of this. Okay, and then you see... Well, you don't see a couple things happening because they're in the fog cloud.
Okay.
That's for sure, so I cannot update you on that. Let's see. You see another one near Frey, and Frey, you see one instantly fall asleep unconscious. And that's all you can see. So you see, of the 3 surrounding Frey, 2 of them fall unconscious, and then you don't know what the situation in the fog cloud is.
Okay. Varavin will put a period at the end of the sentence. Well, that worked better than I thought it was going to. Don't attack the sleeping ones, dear. We don't want to wake them up from their slumber.
It's a fine print on the spell.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't worry, they'll sleep forever.
Oh dear.
Yeah, what are the rules for attacking sleeping enemies? Because I think it's if they're unconscious, it's nasty pants for them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Reese, what is your additional plan for Celeste?
She will run up behind. Let's make it me. Just hide for right now. Try to hide behind me.
Oh, okay. Try to hide the towering half-orc just hides. Needs to be
What a
battle-hardened.
visual. She's just crouching down. She can't, probably could not even remotely do it.
Yeah. All right,
Towers
next
over him.
round, I get to add more initiative. Even though, so they're aware, obviously something's happening down there, but now you just placed a giant fog cloud, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. Order, put Frey on top. Alright, so Frey, it is back to you.
Alright, well, seeing as how people are asleep, that would make her much more angrier.
The disrespect.
The disrespect. So much. Chat is reminding that you have advantage and auto crit any sleeping enemies. Holy moly.
Alright. Well, then you could probably ignore what Varavin said earlier.
Be careful, don't wake the sleepers.
She'll get to them in a second. So she'll attack the one that's still awake, number 2.
Okay.
How would you tempt her so putting in the sleep around her?
It's definitely,
Yeah.
definitely going to hit the goblin. 10 damage. Frey, once again, how would you like to kill this goblin?
This time, while holding like his arm, she just goes, and she's still holding his arm.
Wow. Boy.
Now she's got an arm and a hand.
Indeed. Anything? Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
I only have one attack right now. 'cause
Yeah, I
you
know.
didn't
It's,
let me try
it's
the higher
like
level.
everybody did so many turns for the last campaign. This time it's like, I do one
Yeah.
thing and I'm
One
done.
person's turn would be like 6 minutes.
Yeah. That's right. We're going
Yeah.
pretty fast.
When we get a little bit higher level, then I can do it twice.
That'll be the day. All right. Well, the goblins have fewer options because 2 of them are passed out. And again, you're not sure what's going on in the fog cloud. You think you hear sound, so at least one is conscious in there. And I believe
Good.
so they can use
Sure,
an
laugh.
action.
Action or damage, I believe.
So
Use an action to shake or slap.
That specifies shake or slap.
Or slap. One of the other.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Yeah,
No
no
nudging,
other
no
way.
gentle prodding, no whispering in the air, just shaking and slapping. But yes, you hear what could be a shake or a slap inside the fog.
No one will ever know except for the 2 goblins.
That's right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you've effectively blocked any of the wagon goblin from being able to do anything. So, and you guys can't see what's going on in there, right? Because of the fog cloud. So, that's all that's going to happen. And got them void.
I will attack. I'll short bow number 5.
Short bow number 5.
Is that an auto crit?
According to the chat, where I get all my rules from, it is an advantage and auto crit. If you hit, I guess, which 24 will hit. Pretty sure a crit will kill this injured goblin, this injured sleeping goblin.
And
He
then
won't. He will never wake up. It'll just be
Yeah,
from
just
sleep
a gentle,
to death.
like, it's just the arrow goes right through. Probably,
that's just an extra attack die.
yes.
Been a while.
Mhm.
I'll never remember, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely, that's true. It is prone. I don't know how that works. Maybe not advantage. I don't know. But it seems like if they're unconscious, that they're always going to be prone. So you would never factor in prone to unconscious.
It would probably cancel out then.
Oh,
'cause
but
you get
ranged attack.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
a disadvantage for range prone, but you also get
So
advantage because they're
so
unconscious.
just no advantage then if you're attacking with range technically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you hit anyway and murdered the shit out of that
Yeah.
goblin with an arrow.
Regardless, I think the 10 was gonna.
Right. I was gonna
Yes, for sure. Congratulations, you've murdered a sleeping goblin.
do it.
You feel
This
great.
will go down in history for Thimbleweed.
A whole chapter about that in your book.
Write that down. Write about
Oh.
my heroism.
As the arrow pierced the sleeping goblin's neck.
Yes. Has a good ring to it.
All right, it would be Edmund's turn, but he has stepped away. The
I will
go ahead.
lift
Sorry.
the fog cloud now.
Oh, okay. At the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Now you all see that there's still one sleeping goblin, and there are now 2 non-sleeping goblins who have kind of dispersed a little bit in fear of the cloud and not being able to see much. Yeah. Oh, I was wrong. That's actually twice the distance, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
20. Yeah, it's a lot farther.
Oh, is that lit up?
Yes,
Oh,
there
I
are
can't see it.
lanterns
Yeah,
hanging
okay.
from that wagon. Yeah,
Ah, so we can see it all the way over there.
you
so
can. Now that the fog cloud is cleared, you can actually see it. Yeah, and you can see that the goblin boss on the top is like making some hand motions, and you see the one the wagon's parked. It's in park, and the one goblin jumps inside of the wagon and gets a and you see a short bow come out, and you see another short bow come out, and they both fire in the direction, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be disadvantage range for them. Outside of the short bow. Yeah. They're gonna be shooting disadvantage at Frey, who's still the closest one. Or sorry, that was gonna be the Goblin boss who's doing that. It's her turn. I think she has the same stats. She does. Alright, but it's a disadvantage attack. She gets out a short bow and attempts to shoot at Frey. 6 is not going to do it. Unfortunately, the long range kind of fucked up her aim. Yep. Okay, so it goes to... so we skipped... Oh, Raymond's back. Edmund. Edmund, it is your turn.
Okay. Number 6 is alive. And now I can see more.
Yeah, number
Yeah,
6 is
so-
alive and asleep, but now you can see all the rest of them too. Yeah.
Yeah, the fog cloud has gone down. 6 is alive and sleeping. 7
3.
is alive and sleeping, and then 4 and 3 are up.
Where's 4?
Back behind the sled. Maybe you can't see him.
Sorry, am I
that
describing
was-
things you can't see?
No, I can't see the numbers very well, but I see the...
Yes, it is. It is quite dark for you.
Good job, green fellow. I'm boring them to sleep.
That's an inaccurate description of what happened.
I will pick up another stone and aim for number 3 with my newly acquired stone. There we go.
17 does hit.
Damn.
Give me some damage. Yeah, nailing it. All right, despite that being less damage, this is a smaller run-tier goblin, and that stone just hits him right in the eye. His head rockets back and falls to the ground.
That is it.
Okay, Celeste, you are trying to cower behind... Last turn, you tried to cower behind a gnome. Is that what you want to do, or is that just what Reese made you do? Because now I'm second guessing.
No, that's what I told him.
That's what he had you do. It should be fucking funny if you had some badass attack lined up, and he's like, she cowers behind me.
No, that face was because the baby started screaming louder.
I think we've all had baby aggro at least once this session.
I hate babies. Okay,
That's going on the sizzle reel.
It's so hard for me to focus when she's crying. Okay. Yeah. So Celeste cowered because I felt like it definitely wasn't within character. Just like
It might be your first. Is this your first like combat encounter?
Yeah,
For the character,
for sure. Yeah. Okay. So she's gonna. You know what's gonna happen is she's just too tempted by all the blood that needs to be cleaned up.
There's a lot of blood.
So she's gonna charge forward. Hold on. Oh crap! I hate when I do that. I'm drawing lines instead of measuring. How long was that? That was 30 feet. Okay, so she's gonna charge forward and go. Oh my goodness! All the blood needs to be cleaned up. Oh, it must be clean. And she's gonna start mopping the blood, and then realize that she's face to face with a goblin.
That
Go,
goblin is asleep, by the way, passed out from a spell by Valravan.
Oh, well, that's too bad because that's the one that she's gonna see.
You
she's-
accidentally just bop him in the face.
Sleeping goblins look like.
Panics, and then it smacks him with her.
So you get advantage. You get advantage because it is a passed out goblin.
Okay, remind me. So there's I know that there's something with so there's the one-handed and a two-handed quarterstaff. Can I use either one of them?
Sure can.
Because there's something about. Yeah, I can.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you're specifically holding something in their hand, you could always use that two-handed for the more damage.
Okay. Okay.
I imagine if you're mopping,
So
it's
attack.
generally two
Mhm.
hands.
Two-hand mop.
24 does hit the goblin. Give me some damage. You'd also get a
Boy.
a crit on this because he's asleep, but that damage alone will destroy this goblin. How does your explain how? Yeah, what does this look like? It just smothered the goblin. It's just twitching on the ground.
Terrible. That's terrible than just what I assumed was just like, you know, she's just a big, strong
Just
orc.
smacked him
Really
across
how
the head.
strong she is,
Just
and
knocked him. Yeah, he just knocked him out.
Just knocked him out, and
And then for a second, you just see a little bit of blood come out of his nose, and you just mop that up really carefully. Done and done.
yeah. Then she does that, and
What a way to go.
Mm-hmm.
okay. So are they? So this one is asleep too. Then number
Yep,
7.
there's one more passed out. Yep, and then one that's up and looking worried.
Okay. So I have to make sure I understand everything the monk does. So I have an extra attack, right?
Extra unarmed strike. As a bonus
Unarmed
action.
strike.
Yeah.
I think, yes. Do you have to use the key point to do flurry of blows to actually do that, or do you always?
No.
I
you
think
always
that's-
get one bonus action unarmed strike. The key point is to take 2.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So then Celeste now has like I don't know. So now she's just like high on the adrenaline, and it's the first time
You got a
she's
taste
ever
for the
killed
taste for kill.
anybody. And so then she's gonna go, oh, I feel so confident now, and she's gonna run forward to attack this goblin.
This other sleeping goblin.
As long as enemies are passed out, she's super confident in attacking them. This is the combo you'll have to use, the 1-2 punch.
Yep.
So, okay, so an unarmed strike. How do I do that?
It should be an attack, I think, in your...
Monk unarmed. Yes.
That's the one.
Oh, shit!
Wow.
Already an auto-crit, but yeah, that's
What
awesome.
body part, or what does your unarmed strike look like?
Gosh. I don't know. First thing that comes to mind is her elbow, because she doesn't actually want to get her hands dirty. So it's just like that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the first natural crit of the campaign, by the way, with a sleeping goblin with an elbow to the face. Normally that would trigger our crit rules, but you killed this goblin. our new massive damage table and all that. Unfortunately, that crit killed that poor sleeping goblin. That work is truly cleaning up. All right, is that everything?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Vol, you are last.
I'll accept Vol as a nickname.
I'm just giving up now.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Shoot Pendergrass the third.
Well, shoot. How far away is that goblin? 55 feet. What's the range? Oh, I'm good. He'll take a couple steps forward. And he was watching Celeste do all this, and he was watching her say that she felt more confident, and he's writing furiously now. The once timid, shy, but domineering in stature half-orc, now with the confidence to attack with pure martial force, utilizing the full weight of her mass.
Excuse me.
There's not a Mrs. Vol Robin, is there?
Became fully bolstered to continue battling these foul forces, and she will get a bardic inspiration.
I hope all of you have ways of
And-
tracking that, because I'm not keeping track.
Yeah, you guys might want to put a little
Token,
status thing on if you
yeah.
want, but that's
I'm up with one, because I'm sure I'll be giving those out a lot.
Yeah, or I'll try to remind you if something happens where you could use it. But and he'll take another step forward. And ooh, I forgot to ask the chat. I was gonna make this a whole game about every time I use this. So I was gonna ask the chat. He'll step forward and say, "You degenerate creature! Your skin is the most sallow fade of yellow." And he will
A vicious mockery.
do some vicious mockery. It's a DC 14 Wisdom save.
Let's try my new got a thing for this. Is it a half if it makes a save, or no, or nothing happens?
I believe it's nothing. If the save happens, nothing happens. If he fails,
Hey, look at that.
What is this? Is it the 7? Okay.
He rolled a 7, so he
Okay.
failed. And what's cool, I didn't get a chance to use this, but I can highlight multiples and click all that, and it does all of them together in one big
Oh
thing.
wow. Okay. That's cool.
Man,
But your sleep does not involve.
Right.
just over the 7. It's
the
like-
rules for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
That's a formula.
it's an API script I got going on here.
Nice. But the damage is not necessarily the important thing here. It's that he has a disadvantage on his next attacks.
So he takes 3 psychic damage as he understands and is created by your insults. Has disadvantage on his next attack. Give him a broken heart.
Yep.
His heart has been
And that will be Valraven's turn.
All right, top of the encounter is Frey, surrounded by dead goblins, still holding a goblin arm, I think? Severed goblin arm?
Yep. So in one motion, she just like tucks the arm into her bag and comes up for this guy.
Of course.
Do you leap over this sled filled with iron ingots, or how's that?
Well, I'm assuming it's really tall, right?
I
mean,
it's
it's a
yeah,
sled.
it's pretty good
I
size.
walk right underneath it.
You could probably do some kind of cool sliding maneuver, yeah.
Burrows under the snow. He's just like
Yeah.
around the snow.
I like that. Yeah, froze under the snow, pops up. Like, and then she swings away.
It's like the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah, the tall grass.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Pops out of the snow with a fucking explosive crit. All right, you rolled impressively low for that damage.
I know it's really bad. Oh, but I do have my it's my Bardic inspiration. Can I use that for damage?
No. Well,
Depends on what kind of bard he is. Well, he's not any kind of bard yet.
no, not any kind of bard yet.
He's
However,
no bard. He's an imposter.
However, because of your rage and all the little damage that, and because more importantly that Valraven insulted him and he took emotional pain damage, that your actual physical cutting damage slays this goblin.
He's too depressed to go on.
No.
Just kill me, please.
I was so incensed.
Okay.
And you guys don't see any goblins around you. However, you are still in combat because a ways from you, you saw obviously there's a goblin on top of the wagon, and there were short bows out of the wagon windows with arrows, look like they are pointed at you. And
She'll yell in that general direction because they did shoot at her and miss. So
yeah, and they're gonna do that again, which I think you're still far enough away. Yep, it's disadvantage again. They attempt to, it's their turn, and they will attempt to shoot you with the disadvantage, which is not gonna help these goblins. So those
Nope.
arrows go sailing past you. And we go to Thimbleweed.
So, again, is this wagon on the move?
This is a sled that was currently being hauled by all these goblins. Those goblins are now dead, so this sled is just sitting here.
Okay.
And
the one with the polar bears.
The one with the polar bears is not moving. The only one on top of the wagon looks like a bigger goblin. Looks like it might be in charge of the situation. And she is currently just yelling furiously and seems to be reacting to the situation. And for a while, this was under a fog cloud, so they had no idea what was going on that side. But it is not currently on the move.
I will, I guess stealthing is an action, right?
That's a good question in combat. We haven't had that in a while.
I believe there's a hide action, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's an action, yeah.
It is an action,
The-
yeah,
the
to
hide
hide,
action.
yeah.
I'll dash forward then.
Okay.
Oh, well. A dash action.
Means I lose sight of him. Well, almost.
Yeah.
He'll also, being next to Valravan. Yes!
Nailed it, huh? Wow.
Got it!
Say, I don't understand any of those words you said, but it seems like you've inspired them and helped us out. Very good, Mr. Astute.
My dear Thimbleweed, now that we are on a first-name basis, you may call me Valravan.
All right, I like it.
Mr. Edmund. Mr. Ulrich, you are muted, by the way.
Oops, sorry, thank you. He will also dash. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Spritz forward.
Actually, you know what? I don't want to be in the front line, but
For it. What could happen?
no, it's fine. That's it. Action plus movement.
Okay. As you are in front, the goblin who looks a little more in charge of the situation is yelling furiously and still trying to shoot. He's still not quite sure about the extent to which the other goblins have been killed. And attacks, this time, Edmund with short bow, but disadvantage because it's still way out of range. Ooh.
Wow.
Disadvantage finally comes through.
I do have one question real quick. That goblin boss lady, is she sitting on top of the wagon?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Alright, Edmund, I rolled extremely bad for damage. You take 3 piercing damage. That arrow somehow finds you despite the distance and darkness. And we go to Celeste. Celeste, can you hear me?
Oh,
Sorry. You
my
are up.
name. Sorry, I'm like so used to being Gillian. I was not. Yeah, I totally wasn't
Who is
distracted. I was still paying attention. Sometimes in combat, I'm just ready. I'm just listening for my name, and I'm not used to my name being.
Yep.
Deep in thought with your wine glass.
That's right. Considering.
Wait, my turn.
Why haven't I heard Gillian all day long?
Boy, I don't.
Yeah, they're way the hell out there, aren't they?
I still don't think like it would be. I don't have any range, anything, and I don't think it'd be within my character to really go running forward at this point.
How emboldened do you feel?
Not that emboldened. They were both asleep when I killed them.
This is true.
And in Celeste's defense, I forgot I was ranged and could have shot my long or my short bow.
You did run forward, didn't you, with your bow in hand?
Yes. I don't have a mace in my hand.
Everybody's figuring things out. That's funny. I didn't realize that either.
You're muted. Or I didn't hear you.
I might have
Right.
been cutting out. I think I was cutting out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to like hide back here. I don't really have anything else I can
I mean, there's a lot of blood. There is a lot of blood.
point. Yeah.
Giant orc.
She's inching forward, trying to be brave, but then still just like reaching her mop like back behind her, like stretching it back to try to clean up some of the blood that's reaching her. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
All right, Valraven.
Well, let's see.
Valraven.
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 I legitimately have no idea how to say your name.
I
anymore.
don't either.
None of us do.
I pronounced it correctly last month, and I've already forgotten.
Both A's are the ah sound. So Valraven.
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 Why is it so hard?
Valraven.
Valraven.
Call him Val. I'm telling you.
Valraven.
You're Valraven.
Would you like to just change
just
your name?
repeats
How about
his
that?
name.
I just prefer if you just change your name.
The second half of his book is just his name written in increasingly upset hands.
None of these incoherent swine know how to spell or say my name.
Just pronouncing my name makes me a dull boy.
That's right.
We make the legally distinct V for Vendetta for our next campaign.
You know, authors come up with pen names for a reason.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go by Stephen King from now. People will know how to pronounce that.
Seven?
Yeah, Sven? Kind?
Sven Kyng.
Valraven will step up to as far as he can go in the snow. And
You're trying to trick us. That's incorrect.
I know, it's all ramen. No, you said it wrong.
God damn it.
And he'll actually just spend his action basically just talking to the team like, perhaps discretion is the better part of whatever at this point, my friends. Maybe we can take this cart and just move it out of here, and I suspect that we might be able to move this cart quicker than whatever that thing over there is can move.
Better than 2 polar bears? I don't think so.
Are polar bears quick creatures? They look rather slow.
I don't know if you know much about metals and ores, but each one is pretty heavy.
Valraven will then try to pick one of the oars up and probably like immediately drop it into the snow. Like, oh! Oh dear, yes.
Those are our heroes.
So you don't think we can outrun those ghastly, huge white beasts over there?
There is one way.
Literally turns and just looks at you. Like, it just cocks one eyebrow, like, what?
We need you, as he points to Valraven, to stay behind as polar bear food.
We're workshopping
This
the
I
name.
can get behind.
Oh well, I'm liking this plan less and less as we discuss it. Perhaps we just attack. I'm alright with that. Those beasts don't look very fast to me, but they do look rather hungry.
So you know how fast they are, but I have seen them bite a mule beast in half in one bite.
Yeah.
You're no mule beast.
I am no mule beast. That is for certain.
So you have
all
this
right.
discussion as an action, or do you wish
As
to
an
do
action,
something?
because he's not going to go farther than the team. He's
Right.
not going to go ahead of them.
Okay.
So yeah, his action is discussing his plan and then discarding it when they want to leave him behind as polar bear food.
Fair enough. Frey.
Okay. Going to run up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Make sure I hit the right spot. Did. And then as she's running, she puts her battle axe back down and flips up the other side of her cloak and pulls out the javelin that is apparently in her character sheet, and she hucks it. All while laughing maniacally at the...
Hurling a javelin. What is the range on a javelin?
I checked it. It's 3120, so I'm at disadvantage to do it, but...
The disadvantage ranged battle.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, so I have to attack. Alright. So, let me hit the disadvantage button first.
Pretty
Does a
good.
16 hit, because if not, I'll roll my little Bardic inspiration to go with it.
You do feel like this goblin is actually wearing a better armor and is a little more nimble.
Here.
You are inspired,
Yeah.
my dear.
Yeah, I'll roll my d6 to add it to there.
Yeah.
I hope it's enough. So 21.
21 will hit. Feeling the words.
There's no amount of armor a goblin could wear that the 21 wouldn't hit.
Alright, just for that, I'm putting the most armored goblin you've ever seen. Wearing a mech suit of armor.
It's just a refrigerator, and we don't know what's inside. There's a goblin in there.
Goblin head.
10 damage.
Good lord, from a javelin. Alright, so that javelin comes sailing in, and it looks like it's gonna miss it first, and then it'll just fucking lodges itself, and Goblin rockets back until he falls off the wagon, and her eyes go wide as that happens, thinking that you guys were still out of range. Is that it? That
I only have one attack. Why do you keep
I
asking?
gotta make sure everybody's got some things. The other, she immediately responds by just yelling and screaming and pointing, and the other goblins, you see two. A bow. You don't see the goblins. Their bows are popped out of the wagons, and they fire. I believe you are no longer in disadvantage. Actually, yeah, you're no longer in disadvantage.
Alright.
It is a normal attack by the gobos. Going to shoot you with short bows. 16.
That will hit.
Okay.
But I'm resistant.
7 piercing. You're still raging. And the other one misses wide. Got a thimbleweed. Who may remember he has a bow this time. Tune in.
I remember.
He's got a bow! We've all got bows.
Oh man, but just out of range, so still disadvantage.
Okay. Also, you note they are in cover because they are inside of this wagon.
I missed it, but did you already move? Did you already move closer?
Yes, I already moved closer. My
No, I
speed is
missed-
25. Okay, I'm short. I have short legs. Does an 8 hit?
That is not gonna work. It's just you could not hit the broadside of that wagon.
Drop.
All right, Mr. Ulrich, Edmund.
Do the polar bears look aggressive or neutral?
It's you can't tell from this distance. You just note that they've been chilling there.
All right.
Occasionally, one of them will like ring its head around, but any of the combat has occurred long enough away where the polar bears don't seem to be reacting to anything of that regard. Although when a javelin hit the goblin at the top, they kind of did get a little irritated by that.
He yells to the group. I have an idea to prevent. Well, I have an idea to befriend these polar bears. We might be able to use them. Carry the ore ingots for us. Hint, hint, don't attack them.
Okay.
So he's gonna run and dash. So 5, 10, 15, 20.
Careful. Seen them chew an ingot beast in half in one bite before.
Oh dear. I want to see one of these ingot beasts.
Yes, they're very deadly and crafty.
He does slow down his last 15, 20 feet so the bears don't get aggressive.
Okay. You are attempting to approach them?
Uh-huh.
You could use a if you're just trying to like look at them to determine how you think their disposition is, you could give me a nature check. Unless you're trying to do something else in your turn.
No, that was it. I just wanted to get closer.
Yeah. Did you dash to get closer?
I did.
Okay. This is just, yeah, free. Just kind of you're looking at him as you get closer. You slow down and you feel like, first of all, you don't recall polar bears being domesticated animals. They don't appear to be overly happy about the situation, but they are currently mollified, but you note that their agitation seems to be growing as the, tension is rising around the wagon now.
I hope this is a free action. I'm not really doing anything yet that requires an action, but one of my alchemy skills is replicate magic item. And I have chosen to replicate an alchemy jug, which I will show you in the next turn. But he pulls it out.
Is this something we should have gone over in session 0?
It's a surprise.
Okay. It is a surprise to me.
It's a fun surprise.
You had your chance with session 0.
I'll click on it later, but I just take it out and I just kind of like it looks like it's holds a gallon size of liquid. It's about 12 pounds, but I can slosh it around whether there's anything inside it or not. It just sounds sloshy. So anyway, he tries to get the bear's attention, but he's just sloshing this jug around.
Okay. As you approach and attempting to get their attention, they do seem to be definitely noticing you. More smelling probably in the air, making some vague bear sounds. You can barely hear it.
Uh-oh.
No.
I'm disappointed nobody we haven't had a single, and disappointed in the chat also. These bears have been on the board for this whole time. Nothing.
We didn't want to bear it this time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Disappointed in.
Okay, so we've got the goblin boss. You see her pull that fucking javelin out and toss it to the ground, and she looks around desperately in the wagon and pulls out what looks like a lantern. And she holds up this lantern with a nice flickering flame inside, and actually holds it out kind of in front towards Edmund, and she opens like a dramatic gesture, like opens the front panel of this kind of rectangular lantern with 4 glass windows on each side, and the flame appears to shoot out, and as it shoots out, it's still relatively tiny flame, but it looks like a flare kind of shooting towards Edmund, and then for a brief moment it appears to look like a flaming bird as it flies into Edmund. I need to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Boy. Pretty good.
Okay, you are able to swiftly dodge out of the way as this small fiery bird comes firing at you, and instead it kind of just lands in a snowbank nearby and just kind of lights up the area like a flare. That little bit of light on the map that now...
Hey, you almost hit me with that.
And then we go to Celeste's turn as I Ready?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, so this flare just lit up this
Not
area.
Celeste Flounderson anagram.
Somebody else had a guess earlier, but I know I lost it. I'll tell you when I find it. But
It's related to the background that you already know about me. So it's not one of these like,
okay.
oh yeah, there are testicles in her background.
I think what somebody came up with is like, oh, volatile selection, which is pretty good, but I doubt it's right.
Man, does that really fit? Like, geez.
I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? No one knows anagrams except for Celeste.
Okay. Okay, Celeste is gonna just run up behind this rock
Sweet rock.
50 feet. And she's just gonna hide here.
Okay, you can give me a stealth check. To hide behind the rock.
Sick.
You make a lot of noise as you attempt to hide behind. There's a lot of crunching and grunting and creaking.
Thank you for coming to back me up in case my polar bear plan doesn't work. I need someone large like you.
Very kind. Valravn.
Excellent. We're getting there, folks.
I have to literally think about it every time.
He's gonna move right up behind Frey.
Yeah, Swamp Witch is the anagram. That's correct. Well done, Chad. Excellent callback.
That wasn't good too.
And he is going to clasp Frey on the shoulder, and he's going to whisper to her, "My dear, I know I am not your favorite person thus far."
You touch her?
Yes,
Oh,
my
boy.
hand is on her shoulder.
That's gonna go over well.
Frey's. And
That is very dangerous for you.
You'll lose that hand.
I know I'm not your favorite person thus far. That is, you've made that very clear to me. But let me tell you that from what I've seen thus far, you are a ferocious warrior and a fierce protector of us all, and you are doing fantastic work. And I just have to tell you, my dear, that your heroism will see us through this day. I know it. And he takes his hand away. And she will get immunity to being frightened and
Temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each.
Four temp hit points at the beginning of each of her turns.
Cool. She will, like, as you try to, like, move away, like, physically move her shoulder away from you.
But she also feels pretty good as he backs away. She's feeling pretty strong.
That's the only reason you still have a hand, I think.
Right.
All right, so Frey, at your turn, you gain 4 temporary hit points.
Okay.
Do you feel
She's going to do something very similar. Go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're getting closer.
Mhm.
Getting closer.
Mhm.
Still in disadvantage, but that's okay.
Just run, Chuck. Run, Chuck.
Yeah. Ah.
Wow.
Yep.
8
I'll have my-
is-
Is that our? Well, no, that's not quite our first miss. We had one the last turn, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's my first miss,
that javelin
So-
goes sailing.
which makes her scream in frustration.
Mhm.
And that is the end of my turn.
Excellent. The goblins this time will divide their attacks between Frey and Edmund, seeing multiple targets. No longer in disadvantage. So one coming at Frey is going to connect for max damage However, you've
No,
got
it's
temporary hit points and the fucking rage going on.
Okay.
So that should just cover it then. The
Yeah.
10 hit points, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then another one comes sailing at Edmund.
That's a miss.
11 is going to miss, yeah. Alright, we got a Thimbleweed.
Range now. Full power.
What does that mean? The attack.
See what it means, yeah.
Are you attacking the one on the wagon or the one in the wagons with just the bows?
The wagon.
On top of the wagon? Okay. I mean, 23 would hit. But yes, 23 will hit.
Hear that, guys? 23 will hit either way.
Okay, you sink that arrow into the goblin's shoulder, and she rockets back and nearly drops the lantern that she had held up, which is now empty, and kind of just falls back down to the seat. Then she just looks absolutely terrified at this point. Edmund.
Can I? So how does the goblin look on top?
Very, 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 very bad.
And how high is it?
20 feet.
It's okay. And then can I see the goblins inside the wagon? Like, is there a window big enough, or?
Yes, you can see them and you can target them. They just have cover.
Okay. All right. Well, I lied earlier. I'm not ready to push that button about the alchemy jug, but
I lied earlier. That's okay.
As a bonus action, I'm going to use telekinesis, but alchemy style. So my hands come together again. Electricity shot. You kind of see this path. Oh wait, hold on. How far away am I? Sorry, I didn't measure. Oh shoot.
Slightly closer.
I need to get a little closer. Okay. How about here? A little closer to the bears. Okay, good. All right, sorry. So now I'm 30 feet. So his hands come together, and you see some electricity, and he touches the ground. And this path of electricity kind of travels along the ground and up the wagon. And you see the seat all of a sudden turn into like a slide.
Okay.
And basically it's bringing him 5 feet closer to me. But he has to succeed on a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Or fall down, I guess.
Gotcha. All right. So the one on the top, you're turning in the.
I'm turning the seat into like a slide, and he's like,
Okay. Like it. All right. So strength. What is your DC?
13.
13. Oh yeah, it says on there. By the way, I started the MVPC poll. Please vote if you're watching live. Fails miserably.
So he falls 20 feet.
Okay, so you you turn the seat into a slide, and the worried goblin suddenly just comically, like, absolute terror in the face, as just pitched forward and falls down, probably smacks like onto that, whatever you call that bar that attaches.
Yoke?
Is that what? Yeah, the yoke. Probably like you hear like a horrible cracking sound as the head like cracks on it and falls to the ground, and that goblin is limp as hell.
That was a bonus action, and as my action, I name a liquid, and that appears in my jug. I'll tell you what it is next turn.
He whispers it quietly.
Teasing it, yeah. I'm very excited.
Cough
I
syrup is
just hope the DM appreciates this creativity, because
you know I do. You know I do. Most of the time I do. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass, but most of the time I appreciate it. You've got a pretty good percentage going.
He continues to slosh the liquid for the bears, trying to keep their interests.
Okay. Yeah, the bears seem when the goblin hit that yoke and like rattled it, and now the blood and death is right near them, now the bears are getting very agitated and angry. You can tell that upset them quite a bit. You're not sure if it's because they gave a shit about the goblin or just because somebody rattled that and they can now smell like blood and death near them, but they have grown very upset. So
as he continues to appease them with this jug of fluid.
So that goblin is dead. We go to Celeste. As far as you know, the only thing left are the polar bears, which are technically not combatants. They're harnessed to this wagon, and you do see 2 goblin bows sticking out of the wagon, although they appear to be faltering now that the what you presume as the leader has fallen to her death. Votes are coming in. Come on, folks. Can we get more than 20 votes? Exciting. Already had way more than I think we've ever had before.
I've seen it just cut the Streamlabs thing just come up constantly.
Yeah.
Wait till they see what comes out of my jug.
But dude, it's always hard to determine when I do the poll. It's like, you won't see it unless I win MVPs. You'll never know what's
strategy. I like that.
Yeah.
Hold it hostage.
Hold it hostage.
You're never gonna find out the answer to my anagram. Okay, so Celeste is gonna run up to the wagon, and actually, well, I don't know if the polar bears are letting me do that because I just sort of ran.
Are you running?
I'm not sure. I didn't run like right by them, but I don't know.
Okay, you're okay. As long as you're not, as long as you're not trying to run like literally right next to them, you feel like you're okay. But they definitely like swing their head around and kind of growl as you run by. It's
okay. And I'm gonna sort of just like try to peek inside the wagon if I can to see what because you said that like we can't really see the other goblins.
You see 2 goblins inside, and you see one right inside of a door right next to you. I'll go ahead and put them on the map for you. And they look pretty fucking terrified to have you right there.
Well, Celeste is equally terrified when she like pokes her head, and then there's a goblin right there.
How do you react?
She unintentionally doesn't know how she's doing this. Casts Mind Tickle.
What?
She didn't actually.
Actually,
I want to like. I have to copy and paste this. It's not.
Right.
This is not something I'm familiar with.
Okay, so you project a wave of psychic energy in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a DC that saving throw or be stunned until the end of its next turn. The caster must also make the save.
All right. I think it's a 10 because your int is
yeah.
Is it still +0?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How intelligent are gobos?
Yeah,
Oh.
we're gonna find out.
Not very.
And you can flavor this however you want in terms of what everybody else sees happen. Or do you just like squint at them?
I think that like they see like just like a really sudden kind of like burst of light coming from Celeste, and then she's stunned, right? And so then she just like she's not actually prone, but for all intents and purposes, she's just like kind of like knocked on her butt.
Yeah, dazed a little bit.
Did you know she could do that? I didn't know she could do that.
You see
Nope.
one of them shakes the effects off, but the other one, the one nearest you, has the exact same thing. Just kind of gets knocked back and just kind of it looks stunned. Yeah, that's very strange for all of you.
Yes.
Robin.
We just saw her run up, like scream in terror, and then just energy just poured
Yes.
out of her into the goblin.
Yep. And one of them, you see the bow just go slack like this, just kind of drop down gently.
Wow. Okay. Valravn will move up to here, which I think. Yes, it does. Okay. And he will say, "Do you hear that, my friends? My little goblin friends in the wagon? Your leader is dead, has fallen off the wagon, as it said.
Back to drinking.
And your compatriot has been stunned by my compatriot's seeming unknown abilities. You would best run from this encounter. It doesn't help that your skills in archery are as awful as your skills at pleasing your mate."
What? How dare you? Okay, you're actually casting Vicious Mockery.
I'm actually casting Vicious Mockery. I'm not just...
I just thought you were having a moment there. Okay. Let's see about the...
I'm technically doing two things. I'm trying
Yeah.
to convince him to run, but I'm also casting Vicious Mockery.
Sure. The one that's not stunned, I assume. The one that's...
Right, yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. That goblin hears you. And... Uh-oh.
Didn't work.
Didn't
Did your
work.
token selected?
My sweet. All
Select
right.
your token.
Maybe I didn't have it selected properly. It's easier just if it's one guy, I can do this. All right, that one fails, and it was a very emotionally fragile goblin.
Oh no!
Your psychic attack. He was fairly certain he was the best lover of his tribe, and you called it into question. And
He's being a marriage counselor.
Oh no!
It all makes so much sense now. We've been having so many problems. His heart bursts and he just dies.
That was not the intended effect, but okay.
You have expertly viciously mocked him, sir. Yeah, you just hear a weeping sound and then just silence, and the bow just clatters to the ground. Currently the only enemy is stunned. Do you all want to coup de grace this, or how do you want to?
Absolutely.
I feel like we're not gonna be able to get in the halfling's way. Like I feel like if she wants to go in there and kill him, we're not gonna be able to stop her. So it's...
Yeah, I'm going in. I'm gonna kill it. They all gonna die. Ah!
Yeah.
I need to do my thing real quick too.
Yes, go ahead. Do your thing.
So
We'll jump out of combat real quick. So as the halfling like rushes forward to the stunned goblin in the wagon, it's like a cartoon thing where it's just like the cloud and just.
So my jug looks like it holds a gallon, but depending as an action, I can name one liquid, and there's a table, and the liquid determines what the volume is. And there's another action I can go over and uncork it. So I've chosen to create honey in my jug. 1 gallon of honey.
Oh.
Okay.
And you just start pouring it in front of the bears for them to feast on, because we all know polar bears like honey.
What bear doesn't?
Yeah. Give me an animal handling check with advantage. Just so this polar bear doesn't bite your hand off as you attempt to get close enough to do this.
Pouring some honey.
Yes. You've got the advantage. All right, because of your honey, the polar bear has been mollified and does appear to lap up the honey. And...
I can only create 1 fluid per day.
Okay. They still appear annoyed at the situation, but they are currently lapping up the honey. And Frey launches herself into the wagon and destroys this last remaining goblin.
Oh my god, someone in chat Said Celeste, I have come to Icewind Dale to pine saw bloodstains and kick ass, and I'm all out of pine saw.
Which,
Excellent.
speaking of, should we be tending to our stunned half orc over there?
It's up to you how you want to deal with what you just witnessed.
I mean, probably just check on her, just make sure she's not like catatonic.
It's just to the end of her turn, so.
Okay.
Yes,
so
yeah. Mechanically, it ends very quickly after like a couple seconds, but it's less when you come through. You see like Frey just leaping into the wagon to kill that last goblin.
Any chance blood splattered onto Celeste?
If you want it to be so, that could probably be the case.
It's a real possibility, especially if the goblin's like right inside the door. It's a very real possibility.
If we want to do loot real quick before we wrap things up.
Sure.
Each of these goblins, which you'll have to count the numbers, there were a lot of them, as you go through and pick up through their belongings, had a pouch with 1d6 copper pieces. So you can roll however many d6s there are goblins for
10, including the boss.
Don't include the. Yeah, sorry. You can. No, the boss has her own loot table. Sorry.
Okay, so
Don't
there's
include the boss.
9. We're just rolling
I like to also
96.
add,
The number to 8.
in the chat, Lockhart guessed for the anagram. Apparently, he or she is very close, but no cigar.
Ooh,
Ooh.
interesting. Good job. Keep an eye
Really
on
watch the
that.
chat. But yeah, so Reese told me what that was. Wait, so what was it, Reese? Say it again.
I love clean tiles.
I love to clean
To clean
tiles.
tiles, yeah.
I love to clean tiles, which was not what I was thinking, but that is very close.
Ooh.
And I think that is also a very acceptable answer.
Oh.
The judges
It
will
fits
accept.
the theme.
Impressive.
Wow.
Celeste, you were also the winner of our MVPC poll. People liked
Yay.
the cleaning, the mopping of the baddies. Which means you get to roll on our MVPC table, which is a new table. Oh yeah, this is the
Copper.
copper pieces that all the goblins have. And then the goblin boss, when you find her broken body. Oh, by the way, one of them had a whistle, a bone whistle that was might be worth something.
Okay.
The one that actually whistled. And the boss had a pouch that had 25 copper and 15 silver. And she also had 2. You know what? Roll a 1d2, Edmund, specifically, because the boss fell and crashed and might have broken one of these potions. Okay, you find 1 potion of animal friendship. And the shattered remains of what looks like another potion. The boss also, you find, as thankfully she did end up dropping that lantern, is that lantern that she used to seemingly attack you with. Looks like it is magical. Not sure what the hell a goblin is doing with such a magic lantern.
Okay.
And then Celeste, if you... I hope this works. If you go over to the macros tab, can you guys see that?
Oof,
Um,
a lot of.
Yeah, the
It's-
3
it's
dots and
called-
the 3 lines.
Yes, called collection, I think, but it's got macros at the top. And then I don't know what all you can see, but
Okay.
if you can click
Yeah.
on MVPC poll,
Got one called map info. Are we supposed to have that?
Oh.
you are supposed to have that, but don't
I
worry about
did.
that one yet. Oh,
We did
perfect.
do it.
Okay, so you rolled a gemstone. So you get a 10 GP. So now you can roll on the other one that says 10 GP gem and roll what kind of gem you get, but it is going to be worth 10 gold pieces no matter what. I just copied and pasted the one from the DM guide. So that is another macro that's called 10 GP gem. That works. There you go. You have a moss agate as a extra loot as a reward for the MVPC poll. Yay, that worked. I'm glad.
Nice.
Collect 3 of the same kind and you win an extra prize.
That's right.
Exactly. All right, so with the loot divvied out, we can determine how you guys want to save these ingots or deal with the bears and the wagon from there, but I think that will do it for this week's inaugural session, sort of. Session 0, but this is session 1. Of Rime of the Frostmaiden. Thank you to Chris, Heather, Rochelle, Raymond, and Reese for playing. Thank you to all the wonderful fans for watching, and thank you to my awesome patrons. Shout out to Platinum patrons Joe, Will, Tiny Dancer, Manuel, Wizard, Princess, Christopher, Star, Liberty, Thomas, Ian, Captain Mike, Adam, Goblin Works, and Aiden. Gold patrons RPG Papercrafts, Charming Grenade, Pretty Boy, Numa, Marcos, Dade, Vicente, Gilberto, Desert Lounge, Sam, Arash, Lumpy Spuds, Jerome, Fatboy 619, Sklenny, Nick, Party McButterbands, Blood Angel, Baronis, The Fireworks Factory, Baboon, Sean, aka Cert to be Nathan, and Fast Like a Tortoise. Live streaming our D&D adventures every week, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Oh, tune in for our post-session chat. Also, we're going to be starting that on the channel in a bit.
This is a pop song. I don't know what pop song it is, but